What's up guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Quarantine Soccer Challenge. This week, I'll be putting on my goalie gloves because we're going over penalties. Penalties are the easiest ways to score goals. It's basically free goals because you're going on a 1v1 against the goalie. We have to practice this because we have to be ready when there's a penalty in the real game. Now, penalties can either occur during a game or during the penalty shootout at the end of the game. Now, when you're taking a penalty in the game, if you miss, you can follow up your shot or a teammate can finish the rebound. However, during the PK shootout, if you miss, you miss, and the other team gets their chance to do a PK. Now, be prepared to see your boy make some epic saves and epic clearances.
Epic saves, and epic clearances.
So without further ado, let's get... Dang, I can't move my hands in these gloves. So without further ado, let's get started. Here we go! Technique 1, pick a side. Now let's look at the goal. So because the goalie is more likely to stay in the center, we don't want to aim there in this case. Instead, you'd want to aim on the sides where the goalie can't reach. So to do this, first, you would want to pick out a corner where you would shoot and focus on the ball so that you can make good contact. Then, when you shoot, you want to use the inside of your foot to hit the ball firmly into the corner. Now, make sure that you don't lean backwards or else the ball is just going to go over the crossbar. And in a real game, if you miss a penalty, you can still follow up, but in a penalty shootout, you can't. Technique 2, stop/hop. These two techniques are used to mess up the goalie's timing and show you where the goalie is going to dive. So for the stop, when you're one step in front of the ball, you don't completely stop, but you just slow yourself down. And what this will do is it will mess up the goalie's timing and it will show you which direction he's diving, so obviously aim the other way. Now, if there's no movement from the goalie, then shoot hard in either corners. However, be decisive when picking a corner. For the hop, it's basically the same thing as the stop, but instead of slowing yourself down, you do a hop. Now, like I said many times, do not completely stop the run-up because it's illegal. Technique 3, the Panenka. Now the Panenka is named after the Czech Republic hero Antonín Panenka, after he used it at the end of the shootout of the 1976 European Championships final. Now this is useful when you want to go down the middle and you already know the goalie is going to dive into one corner. So to do this, first aim for the center, and then when you're swinging your leg, make sure that your toe digs underneath the ball so that you can get that height. Now make sure that you don't make it too obvious or the goalie is just going to save it. Technique 4, Pogba Penalty. This technique is pretty straightforward. You just jog to the ball really slowly so that the goalkeeper gets bored and messes up his timing because you can hit the ball at any time. Now the person this technique is named after, Paul Pogba, likes doing this whenever he takes penalties.
I always try to destabilize the keeper. I always shoot like this, and that's how I know how to take penalties. So I might maybe practice to change it, because maybe the keeper starts to know my step. But the most important is when the ball goes in.
Technique 5, layoff pen. Now, when you're taking a penalty for this technique, instead of shooting it, you lay it off to your teammate so he can shoot. This was best demonstrated by Messi.
So thank you guys for watching this week's episode of the Quarantine Soccer Challenge. Now, when you're taking a penalty, make sure to calm down and focus. Don't be nervous, just calm down. And also, when you're taking a penalty, don't worry about what will happen if you miss, because the more you think about it, the higher the chance you will miss. Also, if you want to pressure the opposition goalie and make him nervous, then stare him down dead in the eye until you shoot, because if you blindly shoot like this, no looker, you'll probably miss. So when you're staring down the goal, you want to stare him in the eye all the way until you're about to hit the ball, and then aim and then shoot. So hopefully you guys loved my awesome diving skills and my awesome reflexes. I know I only saved one, but a save's a save, even though it's right at me. But whatever. Also, I'll be doing a Q&A next week for my 50 subscriber milestone. So leave your questions for me down in the comments below, if YouTube allows comments. So, yeah, that's it for this week's episode. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.